3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular, mystery reading number 1047. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, if you are a recurring viewer, you enjoy my work, and you would like to help support it, feel free to do so by sticking around and hitting the subscribe button down below and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. And if you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, welcome, and thank you very much for your support, as well as your presence during this reading. So the first thing that I am feeling is significant for somebody is the number 1, 2, 3, which for me personally is a sign about trusting that everything happens for a reason, but it could also mean something else for you. There's a specific order in which events or certain things are happening, and I feel like you're being called to trust that things are happening in this order at the time that they happen for a reason. Timing feels significant here for some reason that I'm kind of struggling to put my finger on. You know, like I feel it, but I don't have the words or even the awareness, but I feel it. And I do feel called to trust this feeling, the order in which things are happening for you. That's how I generally feel about everything when it comes to time. Getting into interpreting the number 1047. I almost said 1046, so do with that what you will if you feel called to. But starting with the number 1, this number is about trusting yourself, and sometimes it can be a sign or a message for me to trust myself as a reader as well, and I do think it applies here with the number 1, 2, 3. I actually wrote about the number 1, 2, 3 in a journal entry that I did last night, which, funny enough, I was supposed to start at 12:30, 1230, but that entry ended up getting deleted because the platform that I use, they were doing like updates or changes or something, and it just didn't save, which was really frustrating, but things happen. I personally prefer to write on paper, but when you have limited means, you just have to do what you can with what you have. And I can't remember how the number 1, 2, 3, this message to trust that everything happens for a reason, how it showed up significantly in that journal entry specifically. Moving on to the number 0, knowing the number 1230, 1230, this number can be about, well, the first thing it can be about is recognizing patterns, certain themes, reoccurring signs, messages, or synchronicities. Whether they're for better or for worse, there's something repeating here that is worth paying attention to, and that's very vague, so you apply it to however it resonates and it fits for you, if it actually does. The other way that I interpret the number 0 is a reminder to know when to put yourself first, when to choose yourself over someone or something else, when to choose self-respect and having a healthy relationship with yourself over disrespecting your own voice, needs, wants, desires, thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, just who you are and what you really need or want. It feels like there's a message here about trusting the signs, the patterns, the reoccurring themes or messages for a reason, and trusting a potential calling that you could have to put yourself first in a certain situation. And I just peeked out at the timer and I saw the number 456, which is another message to trust that everything happens for a reason. Signs could be showing up for you that have the same meaning but show up differently, or like they're different symbols but they mean the same thing, different messages with the same theme. The number 4 in 1047. I'm really feeling 1046, the previous reading, could be very significant for somebody. I know that that video had a positive reaction, so I wouldn't be surprised if it already resonated for you when you watched it before, or if there's just a message in there that you need to hear or to see or to know. Anyways, the number 4 is about your ancestors and stability. This number is about your ancestors coming through to encourage you to prioritize stability on many different levels, psychologically, spiritually, and physically. Take care of your mind, your heart, your soul, and your body. Take care of all of your being and all of who you are. I personally believe, as I say sometimes in readings, that our ancestors have been trying to connect with us for a very long time. Spiritual beings have been trying to connect with us for a very long time to protect us, and to encourage us to make better decisions, not only for ourselves but for the collective. And it really depends on how big you're thinking. I think that humans can be powerful, and if we wanted to destroy the universe, we could. I mean, we're already destroying our planet. I think if there's enough of us, we could destroy whatever we want. But conversely, if that's the right word, we could also build up and nurture whatever we want to with the same intensity. It's all just about choice and whether you move forward with self-love or self-destruction. It's interesting to be bringing up a choice between self-love and self-destruction, because the number 6 is about that choice, and me feeling distracted by the reading 1046. So maybe there's a significant choice here that you need to make, and that reading could be significant for you. I feel like someone's sexuality could potentially be a significant topic. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but only take it if it resonates. Maybe their identity. Who are you, and what do you want? Do you really know who you are and what you really want? And if you're not sure, if you can't say that with confidence, full confidence, and trust and faith, I think it's important to reflect on your identity and what you want out of life. The number 7 is about wisdom, learning lessons, expanding your awareness and your consciousness. You could be doing this right now, or maybe there's a specific lesson here on your mind. And I'm being reminded about how the previous reading I talked about how there's a significant connection, or a group of people, connections that have something to teach you, whether it's direct or indirect, more spiritual or relational. This could be really a call for you to really know when to put yourself first, when to choose yourself, when to be selfish, and when to be generous. I feel like there needs to be more of a balance between how much you give to others and how much you give to yourself. Whether it's giving yourself more or giving others more. Balance when it comes to reciprocity is definitely really important. So I'm really getting this feeling that a relationship in your life, or just the relationships in your life in general, are teaching you or have the potential to teach you about your worth, your impact, and what you actually deserve. You know, that could be one of the things that I listed or all of them, but that's what I'm feeling. Adding up these numbers, 1 plus 0 is 1, plus 4 is 5, plus 7 is 12, but 1 plus 2 is 3. And the number 3 is about a lot of things for me. It's about self-expression and communication, healing, growing, and making a commitment. Speaking of making a commitment, this could be a call for you to make a commitment to choose always self-love over self-hate and self-destruction, to be a nurturing, protective force in this world rather than a destructive one. Really, who are you and what kind of force do you want to be in the world? Your decisions, your voice, how you show up matters, because you do have an impact on others. They just might not tell you. You have an energetic impact that the universe may reflect back to you in some form or another. You are a force in this world, and I just saw the number 1, 2, 3 on the timer. I did have to start recording the second portion, because as I always explain, I can only record videos 10 minutes at a time. And I find it interesting that I saw 1, 2, 3. A sign to trust that everything happens for a reason, when I was talking about something that I can't even remember, which is annoying. I do trust that sometimes I can be forgetful for a reason, though, so maybe that you are being called to be left to interpret the timing of when 1, 2, 3 showed up for you, if I don't remember myself. But yeah, be mindful how you use your voice, how you express yourself, and allow yourself to heal and to grow and to learn. So I'm going to move to the cards now, starting with drawing out a major arcana from the Magical Dogs Tarot here. If you didn't already know, the tarot cards, they have major arcanas, minor arcanas. I interpret major arcanas as more impactful, and minor arcanas is more about the details, more immediate circumstances, or feelings, or thoughts, or desires. Less bigger picture. I'm kind of getting this interesting interpretation, a new interpretation, where major arcanas can be more about the future, and minor arcanas are more about the present. So let's pull a major arcana and see maybe what there is to interpret about the future. You know, just what the overall bigger picture is, the theme is of this reading for you. I think pulling this card could be really helpful. And I just saw the number 3, 4, 5, which is about trusting that everything happens for a reason. It's definitely a frequent message for this reading. I did pull the Empress in reverse, and for some reason I wanted to say the 3 of Wands. The Empress has the number 3 on it, and I already told you what that meant, so that's just confirmation of how that number may or may not have resonated for you. The Empress in reverse, it's about emotional dependence. You or someone else might be feeling smothered by expectations that are too high. Maybe you could feel like you're being too selfish, or somebody else is being too selfish towards you. Either way, communication and boundaries are important. And if you're feeling like you're being more selfish, communicate with yourself and know when to tell yourself no when it comes to choosing yourself. If you feel like it's somebody else, be honest about how you feel and protect yourself, your energy, your resources. This is an opportunity for you to either choose yourself or for someone else to choose you. An opportunity for you to choose yourself or someone else. You take that however it resonates. The next card that I'm going to pull is going to be a playing card here. These are more representative of minor arcana cards, except for like 4 of them because we don't have representation for the page in tarot. But let's see, what details could be worth paying attention to in relation to the bigger picture of the Empress. Somebody here feeling smothered. Interesting. I have these 7 of Wands, and as soon as I showed this card, I saw the number 555 on the timer. It says protective, and on the other side it says destroyed confidence. Let's first talk about the number 555 before I forget. The song Slipknot, Before I Forget, maybe that's significant for somebody. Or maybe even the song Dead Memories, or just rock music in general. Maybe there's some significant lyrics for you, or just, could really help you express your anger or your frustration or whatever feelings rock music could invoke for you or help you express. The number 5 is about change and transformation. And with the 7 of Wands or the 7 of Clubs, that's about standing up for yourself, using your voice, standing your ground, and protecting yourself. I'm definitely leaning more towards somebody here is smothering you. Their expectations are too high. They expect too much from you, and this is an opportunity for you to stand up for yourself, to maintain confidence in yourself, who you are, what you need, what you want, and what you deserve. This could even be an older female in your life, like a mother or an aunt or a grandmother. It could be a male too. Father, grandfather, brother, maybe even cousin. It's interesting because I just heard the word, or felt rather, the word cugino, which means cousin in Italian, a male cousin. So that could be a specific message for somebody that there is a male cousin. It's very specific for you to stand up for yourself, to choose yourself, and to say no. Instead of knowing when to say no, when to choose yourself, when it comes to choosing yourself, maybe it's important to know when to say no when it comes to choosing someone else. Like I said, either way, boundaries, protecting yourself, your resources, it's all important. They're all important. I am noticing the number 7, by the way, which we did talk about, is, lessons, learning, expanding your awareness and your consciousness. And I feel like there is a relationship here for you to learn from. And it's about your worth and what you deserve. Like I said, just confirmation right there. I'm going to move on by pulling out a rune from this bag here. I made them myself because, like I said, when you have limited means. Which one? Because I have 2 in my hand that I pulled. This one? Yeah. I'm going to do this one. You gotta unfold it real quick. This one is associated with the letter W, and I believe it's pronounced Wonjo. Joy, success, lasting, emotional happiness. As soon as I saw Wonjo, it reminded me of that episode of SpongeBob where they talk about the M for Mermaid Man being reversed, and it represents wumbo, wumboing, etc. And this further reminds me of a video that I saw today, of a rock, I think it was like a rock concert, and the artist, he was standing up on stage and he was singing the SpongeBob theme song. And I think the audience was joining in. Maybe it was the chorus parts, I'm not sure. Specifically what to call those lyrics. But it's very interesting because I saw a comment about somebody saying, like, you can't escape the generation that grew up on SpongeBob. Maybe that TV show is significant, or your childhood, what you watched on television. And now I'm being reminded of a song that I like. I think it's called TV by Call Me Charisma. And he says something about TV taught us everything. So maybe there's something that you saw on television growing up that impacted you or influenced you in some way. And of course, that could even be further confirmation for somebody that rock music is something that you really connect with, and this could be encouragement for you to pay attention to the lyrics, or how the music makes you feel, how it can help you and benefit you in some way or another. And I saw 1, 2, 3 on the timer while I'm recording the third part of this reading. So trust that everything happens for a reason, that you are seeing the messages and the signs that you're seeing for a reason. I'm going to finish up this reading by drawing out one slip of paper from this bag, which are fortunes that I collected from a Chinese American restaurant that I like. It's called Panda Express, if you know it. I just felt called to collect these, and I like to use them during readings. Don't worry, I'm going to get deeper into that one. Interesting. We have a thank you goes a long way, which is clear. This is clearly about gratitude, appreciating yourself, or someone else appreciating you. Generally speaking, this feels like a message about you deserving to be acknowledged for the fact that you are enough, that what you have is enough. This could be a thank you to the universe as well. As for joy, success, lasting emotional happiness with this rune, what really stood out to me was lasting emotional happiness, because we talked about emotional dependence with the Empress. This is a call for you to keep in mind your long-term emotional well-being. What can this relationship or situation teach you about your emotional well-being in the long run? I mean, I feel like if you don't stand up for yourself, you don't protect yourself, you don't use your voice, it's really going to have a negative impact on your mental health. And you deserve to protect your mental health and to be surrounded by people, including yourself, who appreciate you for who you are and what you have. Or, not what you have. Appreciate for who you are, not for what you have. You deserve to have people in your life that respect your voice and your boundaries, and really what's yours.